What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. We are here with another weekly recap for the Toronto Blue Jays. I missed last week. I apologize about that, but we're here and we're staying here, all right? This week, I'm trying out a new format, so let me know if y'all like it. It'll seem kind of different, but not really. You'll understand once we get into the video. But if you enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, and here we go. Game one of a 6-game homestand. The Jays glad to be back after what happened in New York. Let's gain some momentum. On the mound for this game was Bowden Francis, who did not do good at all, okay? He only pitched 3 innings, giving up 7 earned runs, 5 of them being via home run, walked 0, struck out only 1 batter, and pushed his ERA back to 5.28. This was not a fun time for Bowden Francis. So now after giving up 2 runs in the first inning, the Blue Jays look to get on the board. Bo Bichette steals second, but for a reason only known to him, he steals third and gets thrown out. But that's okay, because in the third, when it's 7-0 Boston, he gets on second base, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. smacks a baseball over the center field wall. It's high and deep. It's gone. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. bomb against Garrett Crochet, pushes the lead 7-2. They're back in it. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 Gold Glove winner, Dalton Varsho.
Center field. Going back, Varsho slips on the warning track and makes the catch.
No surprise, Dalton Varsho makes this week's Defensive Play of the Week in his return game back to Toronto. You'll love to see it. And now in the top of the 9th, 8-2 Boston. Casey Lawrence in for the Jays gives up 2 more runs. It's 10-2 Boston heading into the bottom of the 9th. And now the Jays down to their final out. They're looking to make a comeback. Dalton Varsho strikes out. The Red Sox take game 1 10-2, and the Blue Jays really need to pick it up if they want any shot at being competitive in this series. Now going into game 2, the Blue Jays really need to turn it around, or else this series is not going to be good. Starting pitcher for this game was Yariel Rodriguez, except here's the thing. He didn't really do much pitching because he only went 1 inning, giving up 2 earned runs, 1 home run, and 2 walks, pushing his ERA back to 5.68. That's okay because then Eric Laura comes in to save the day, but that's not okay because he threw 40 pitches in the first inning when he was supposed to go multiple innings. Boston looking to do damage early. Rafi Devers smacks this ball to the wall, and Addison Barger plays it on a hop. Jarren Duran tries to score from third. The throw goes to Bo Bichette, and he gets him out at the plate. Bichette making a high IQ defensive play to save a run. You'll love to see it. And then Alejandro Kirk looking strikes out. And why am I showing you this clip? Well, because right after this pitch was thrown, the umpire ejected hitting coach David Popkins for some reason that I don't know. Maybe he didn't like the call. Here goes Chad Green doing Chad Green things as he gives up a 2-run bomb, and it's 6-0. But here's where the fun stuff starts, because in his second game back with the Blue Jays, Dalton Varsho in the 6th inning homers to right field and puts the Blue Jays within 4. It's 6-2. And then Captain Kirk on his bobble arm night goes yard back-to-back with Varsho. The Blue Jays bats are back, ladies and gentlemen, and it's 6-3. And now the bottom of the 7th, a struggling Tony Taters at the plate, 2 runners on. What will happen?
Looking for a big arm.
Tony Tater smacks a ball over the right field wall. The crowd goes crazy as he just tied it 6-6. The best closer in baseball and this week's Reliever of the Week award winner, Jeff Hoffman, closes it out, and we're headed to extras. And now, with a runner on third, Captain Kirk at the plate on his bobble arm night, will he be able to walk it off? This week's Player of the Week award winner, Captain Kirk, walks it off on his bobble arm night, and the Jays win it 7-6. Now here we go into game 3 as the Blue Jays try and win the series, and they'll try to win the series with Jose Berrios on the mound. Here were his stats from the game. He went 6 2/3, only giving up 2 earned runs, only walking 1 batter, and striking out 8. He went absolutely bonkers. Hot take here, but I think Varsho's really good at defense.
To deep center.
Makes the catch while crashing into the wall to save a run. In fact, the entire Blue Jays team is good at defense because with the shift on, Addison Barger makes this fantastic play at shortstop. But here's where the Red Sox start going, because with the bases loaded in the 5th inning, Alex Bregman smacks a single down the left field line, which scores 2 and makes it 2-0 Boston. Dalton Varsho back at the plate looking for another monstrous day. He smacks one high and deep down the right field line, but misses it by 8 inches, but he's says, I don't care, and goes Oppo Taco anyway. 5th career Oppo Taco home run for Dalton Varsho makes it 2-1. And now with the runner on, and after Bo Bichette makes this outfielder look silly, there would be 2 runners on with only 1 out for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at the plate.
For Toronto.
Major League Baseball is still investigating 2 things. 1, how he hit this ball. 2, how it went out. It's 4-2 Blue Jays. And now Jimmy Garcia comes in the 9th looking for the save, and that's exactly what he gets as the Blue Jays complete another comeback win with the help of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to win it 4-2. And now the Blue Jays coming off a series win against Boston. Chris Bassitt will look to dominate to start the series against Cleveland. Here is Chris's stats. He went 5 1/3, giving up 3 earned runs, 2 of them on home runs, and striking out 4. Early in the first inning, the Blue Jays look to get it pushing, so Vladdy tries to turn this single into a double and gets thrown out by Steven Kwan. This is one of the things that I thought went bad for the Blue Jays this week. Their base running on some opportunities was horrendous. They need to log in on the base paths. And now, after a missed opportunity by the Blue Jays, Carlos Santana in the top of the 2nd smacks a home run over the right field wall. It's 1-0 Guardians. Yo, can we just win the Team Gold Glove already?
The extra day. He'll start tomorrow. Here comes Anthony.
Anthony Santander, someone who I never thought would make a diving catch, makes a diving catch. And now in the 3rd inning, something very tragic happened. Chris Bassitt throws this ball to first, but it accidentally hits Ramirez in the back, taking him out of the ball game. He's doing good now, and he played game 3 in the series, but hopefully he comes back to 100%. And now in the 3rd inning with 2 runners on, George Springer pops up to end the inning, but wait, the umpire is telling the grounds crew to go back to their positions, and that's because catcher's interference was called on the Guardians. So now instead of the inning being over, Captain Kirk at the plate with the bases loaded, and he delivers, getting a RBI single down the left field line. It scores 2, and it's 2-1 Blue Jays. But now Canadian Bo Naylor has something to say about that, and he takes Chris Bassitt deep to dead center. Miles Straw does his best, but it's over his head. It's a home run, 2-2. But George Springer didn't like that very much, so he showed him what Unk still got.
Interference. Fly ball hit well. Deep center. It's gone.
A home run to center field, basically exactly where Bo hit it, and it's 3-2 Blue Jays back on top. But now Jays killer Carlos Santana is back at the plate, and he lines a base hit into left field, and it's 3-3 tie game once again. Now try your best to stay with me here. George Springer walks, steals second base, then Alejandro Kirk pops up, it drops for a single, George Springer moves to 3rd, Dalton Varsho pinch runs for Kirk, Varsho moves to 2nd, and now Nathan Lucas drives in both runners to put the Blue Jays up 5-3, another come from behind lead for the Blue Jays. And now in the 9th inning, Jeff Hoffman in the ball game gets another save as the Blue Jays hold on to win game 1 of the series 5-3. So now after the Blue Jays take game 1 of the series versus the Guardians, they look to carry the momentum into the rest of the series and take game 2 on Minecraft Day. The starting pitcher for this game was this week's Pitcher of the Week award winner, Kevin Gausman. Let me tell you his stats. Gausman went 6 innings pitched, only giving up 1 hit, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts, making his ERA 3.83 on the season. Very well done from Kevin Gausman. And we would get right into the action because on the first pitch of the game, this would happen.
Batters boxes. We get set. Bo Bichette teeing off on the first pitch of the game, and there it is.
And there it is. Since May 27, 2024, that is Bo Bichette's only home run, and it comes on the first pitch of the game. It's 1-0. And here's another thing I thought went bad for the Blue Jays. With runners in scoring position, they did not capitalize on any opportunities and left tons of men on base. They need to lock in and get some more RBIs. But after I say that, I have to tell you this. With the bases loaded, Nathan Lucas draws a walk and makes it 2-0 Toronto. And then later in the 5th, Tyler Heineman with a runner on 3rd drives in the runner with a sac fly to make it 3-0. But now Chad Green's on the mound, and we all know what that means. If you guessed a home run for the other team, you would be correct, as it's now 3-1. But then John Schneider brings in Yimi Garcia when he's running on fumes. He gets in a jam, the bases are loaded, and then this happens.
Swung out and blasted. High, deep to right. Go!
Jays were one strike away from winning this ball game, and instead it's 5-3 in the ninth. And now Emmanuel Clase comes in looking for the save and gets exactly that as he gets Santander to pop up in the infield. The Guardians come back to win it 5-3, all thanks to John Schneider's idiocy, and we go for the series win tomorrow. And we would go for the series win with your boy in attendance. I did go to this game. There will be a full video up on my YouTube channel probably this Sunday, so make sure you stay tuned. And we would once again get right into the action with Bo and Vlad on the corner, Santander at the plate, and they ground it into a double play. Vladdy doesn't run to second, so they throw home and get Bo Bichette trying to steal home. I don't know why Vladdy didn't just run to second. There would have been a runner on second with one out, but I don't know what he was thinking. And now in the fourth inning, it's already 1-0 Cleveland, and they would explode for 3 more runs here in the fourth. It's 4-0. But the Blue Jays would have a response to that question because they would explode for 3 runs themselves and make it 4-3 going into the fifth. And now in the eighth, runners on second and third, Nathan Lucas at the plate. What will happen? And he flies out to the infield. Once again, can't capitalize on runners in scoring position, and we're headed to the ninth. And now, in the ninth, Brendan Little on the mound, Carlos Santana at the plate, and he forgets how to throw strikes and walks him on 4 pitches. It's 5-3. But now, in the bottom of the ninth, runners on first and third for Vladdy. They're trying to make a comeback, and he gets a sac fly to right field. It was hit so hard, but found a glove somehow. It's 5-4. And now, with a runner on third, 2 outs, George Springer at the plate. What will happen?
Third. Book it.
George Springer strikes out to end the game. My first loss in attendance. The Blue Jays leave 9 men on base and lose the game 5-4. That's going to do it for this week's weekly recap. If you enjoyed the new format, let me know in the comments down below. And if you made it to the end of the video, comment the word baseball so I know that you watched till the end. This week was kind of not it for the Blue Jays. 3-3. It seemed like they were 0-6 from all the times they could have won ball games. But that's going to do it for the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe. And with that being said, it's been me, your boy Brandon. I break down the Blue Jays, and I'll see you next time. Peace.